G. Oh my. Oh my. We are back. We are back. We are alive. We are back with another one. Oh my. What a freaking
week.
Past few days.
Week. For the week, man. I'm still on a WrestleMania high.
Yes.
I walk right into basketball, and
yes,
it's been a great week, man. Sports is this week of sports has been what we call in the young man industry lit.
It has 100% has, and it's the craziest thing ever that we got a lot to talk about, man, but let's do the formal introduction. What is going on? I go by the name of Bake, and I want to welcome you to another edition to Talk That Talk podcast. And I got my brother, y'all know the introduction, man.
Hey, man.
He just started the pod again. You know, what was it? Redmond? Wifey with the Redmond?
Yeah, let's talk about it with the Redmonds.
Let's talk about it with the Redmonds. I couldn't get it out, man. I watched the episode. It was a dope episode from the crib. On the couch, it was lit. You know what I'm saying? So, introduce yourself as always, my boy.
Man, this boy, Mr. Too Many Reasons himself out here in these buildings, in the streets, man, watching a little basketball behind me. And you already look, babe, you already know us, man. You see my shirt? I want to rock this one out.
I can't see the shirt. Let me see. I just see a big chain. The blick.
See the shirt?
No, can't see the shirt.
Okay,
I mean, we see the shirt, but we don't see the. What you trying to show?
Trying to see what it says.
It's never luck.
It's never luck. But what hold up, what it say? What it say?
It's only God.
Come on now.
There it is. I love it.
It's never luck. It's always God.
I love it. It's always God. I love it.
Come on, man.
I love it. I freaking love it, man. We got a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
Let's start about we got the Shannon Sharp debacle. We got a lot to talk about, man. This joke gonna be crazy. But let's talk about what everybody else is talking about right now. Why it's hot. It's fresh off the stove. Shedeur Sanders finally get drafted. The draft fallout. Yeah, let's do the title. The NFL draft fallout for one of the most prolific. Most people thought he was a first rounder, maybe second rounder for sure. But he finally falls to the Cleveland Browns with the 144th pick. And he finally gets selected. What's your thoughts? Because it's a lot of stories, a lot of narratives out there. I have my opinion, but I want to hear from you first. You know what I'm saying? What do you think? Why he went so low, and what happened? What? Because this man has been talked for the past months as first round.
I mean, we just say 2 years. Don't even
even 2 years. Can't wait till he get out. He's a top pick, first round draft franchise quarterback, and now they're talking about he's a solid prospect that has a bright future. And so, talk to me, dog. What has happened? Why the whole what's going on, bro?
So when watching it and seeing how all this unfolded, it's a crazy thing. I
Oh no. Dang. The NFL people ain't even messing with us right now. This is beyond me. I don't know what happened. Let's get them back. Let's get real.
I'm always
Yeah,
just
yeah. And
randomly.
the NFL ain't
I feel
messing
like
with my
I feel
dog
like when
Reese's,
your
man.
camera
Yeah.
cuts off, I feel like my camera does that now.
so
It's your
what
fault.
was you about to say before
Yeah,
you was
so
rudely
when
interrupted?
so I just like I won't not even us because everybody's opinion is everybody's opinion. So I understand and respect everybody's perspective. But I also want to sometimes let's not always get so political.
Yeah.
And let's not always feel like, people are out to get us. And I mean us, I mean the black culture.
Yeah.
Some of the things that was said about him, the reports, the anonymous things that people are doing, I don't really, me personally, I can't hold anonymous people. I don't give anonymous people credit
100%.
because if you really about that, stand on that and say that with your chest out.
Right.
You want to hide behind some reporter and all that, I don't really want to respect you got to say anyway. So when you hear all these reports just about his arrogance, his brashness, and all that, you're like, okay, that's one thing.
Yeah.
Then you start hearing that in some of these rooms, he felt entitled. He felt above rapport. That's gonna turn off some people.
Yeah.
And when you turn it off some people, then you start having more speculation through other teams. So when we start looking at the draft, when you head into this draft, Bake,
yeah.
in my head, it was only 4 teams. I'm gonna go back. 3 teams that needed a quarterback.
Yeah.
When we looking at their roster.
Right.
You had the Tennessee Titans, who ultimately took
Cam Ward.
Yeah. You had the New Orleans Saints,
Mm-hmm.
and you had 4 teams. You had the Tennessee Titans, New Orleans Saints, Cleveland Browns, and the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah, I understand.
When I'm looking at those 4 teams, I'm saying y'all need a quarterback either A right now to start next year, or B somebody for the early future. Everybody else can kind of like play it out. The Raiders didn't really need a quarterback because they got Geno, and they just gave Geno that money for him to be the guy. So there's no real reason to drop a quarterback high. The Giants didn't necessarily need a quarterback because they got Winston and they got Russ, and they probably let that kind of play out. So when we get through that first round and the Saints don't take him at 9, you like, all right. Then the Steelers don't take him at 21. You like, all right. You understand the Browns didn't take him at 5 when they did the trade with Jacksonville because they went with the defensive tackle. So when you get to the second round, you like, all right. The Saints end up taking Tyler Slaw.
Which was crazy.
Tyler Shook. But the reports were saying he was climbing up the draft boards. And he went exactly where he was basically projected. He was a day 2 guy, second or third round pick. So he didn't go first round as a projection. He went exactly where people, quote unquote, slotted him. So then you start dropping, and then you get to the Browns in the third round, and they take Dylan Gabriel. Mind you, the Steelers have passed on a quarterback. You feel me? And so when I'm looking at it, man, I think he honestly fell to where he needed to fall. He went to Cleveland. On paper, he is supposed to be better than all those quarterbacks they got in that room. Deshaun Watson, Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, and Dylan Gabriel. So to me, he has the perfect opportunity. Yeah, he didn't get the story of being drafted first round and all that kind of stuff. I get that. But now he has the opportunity to go make everybody who passed on him eat hella crow.
Yeah.
And that's what it's supposed to be about. When us being God-fearing men and Shedeur and Dion being God-fearing men, we use the moniker "God don't make no mistakes."
He don't. I think he's going to use that to sure glorify God at the end.
Exactly. And so because to me he's so out forward being a godly man, it works in his favor because now it can be 2 things. A, God can the whole quote of you make plans and God laughs at them.
Yeah.
That plays a part.
Yeah.
And then possibly, and I don't think he needed, but this can also be a part of that humbling experience bringing you back to surface,
Yeah.
bringing you back to that, like, hey, now let's go show everybody what you really got to work in for. And let this fuel him to become something, to become what we suspect him to become. Because at some point, we have to get away from, oh, we're out to get him. They're trying to do this, they trying to do that. And these NFL teams is looking at the tape and saying, hey, he's probably not as good as people think.
Oh,
because
see that I'm gonna let you finish, but that's
yeah. And so, and I'm just saying the tape. The tape could say
the tape don't lie, man. Look, men lie, women lie, but the tape don't.
The tape don't. And when you start watching some, like, because I'm a big Dan Orlovsky fan, and when he's breaking down quarterbacks, because he breaks down quarterbacks very well,
right?
And he's not critical of quarterbacks. He's not the person that be bashing them. He just points out their flaws in playing the position, which is how you're supposed to do it.
Yeah.
And when you start looking at the tape, you start seeing he did take some unnecessary sacks.
We all knew that, 100%.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah. But the thing is when we're going to draft a guy high, you have to have intangibles that are uncoachable. Like, for example, Jalen Monroe went to Seattle Seahawks. People weren't expecting that. But when you look at a Jalen Milroe, you're looking at, like, he got a 4.3 speed. He can play the quarterback position, and we don't need him right now. So we're going to grab him and we're going to draft him and develop him behind Sam Darnold. And he could become Seattle's Lamar Jackson just because he has those because he has those intangibles that most don't have. So I just think, like, in a vacuum, it's unfortunate that he didn't go where he was projected, but he also ended up in a situation where he can go beat out those guys, shine, and still have the hell of a success story.
I believe that he's going to have a great career, barring any injuries or anything like that. Here's my thing, and I hear you when we get on this whole conspiracy about trying to hold a brother down, and I do feel like this is some foul play, because on paper and on film, even with the flaws, Shedeur has a lot of the tangibles that makes you one of the best quarterbacks in this draft. That's why he was projected the number 2 overall QB in this draft. That's quote unquote not the best quarterbacks or whatever the case may be. And my thing was, they didn't want the antics, number one. And number two, it was to teach you a lesson, to let you know you are not bigger than the system.
Yeah.
But the lesson is only that way for us. Because anybody that is of the other complexion, they can do some out-of-pocket stuff, and they can get away with it. But we are the only ones that have to be on our very, very best behavior. Yes, boss. No, boss. And anytime we start to act anything different or have a voice or speak out of character, it's looked as, we ain't dealing with these antics. We gonna nip that in the bud real quick. We're fast in a hurry. We don't want them, or we gonna bench you and be out the league. There's so many, no disrespect to these people because they're still pros, but there's so many quarterbacks that are not black that are in this league, and you're still wondering, like, how the hell they still playing football, dog? Like, I ain't seen them throw the ball in years. Because I understand the shield protects specific people in the shield, and some people, they don't want to accept the truth, and it's okay. It's okay. My thing with this whole ordeal, Cleveland, if you didn't want them, why'd you pick them? That's my argument with Cleveland. You passed up on them so many times. You even picked up your quote-unquote quarterback that you thought was going to be the guy, even though we know that he's not. He on paper and big moments and in games, he hasn't shown to be the guy, and he's an undersized quarterback. And it's hard for undersized quarterback to be successful in the league. It's just what it is. But you picked him over Shedeur. Even with the Saints, even if you want to go with this guy who's 26 years old, who's mature, who has a big arm, that's fine. But don't say the guy is better than the number 2 overall QB on everybody's board. He's the number 20 or top 10 player on everybody. I would even say 20 out of all people in the draft. He's the top 20th player on a damn near everybody board. And you telling me, you telling me from players to analysts to all these coaches, if he wasn't, they wouldn't be shocked. They wouldn't be shocked. And the thing is, and I ain't gonna say they use his name for clout, but I do feel like a part of it they could have advertised him for clout, because I do think that these owners and these coaches knew what they was gonna do. I think this shield is always gonna protect the shield. This shield is always gonna look after each other. So I do think that they knew what they was doing. I do think that they knew. They changed the whole narrative about this young man and said a first round projected draft pick now is only looked at as a prospect. He's a potential prospect that can be a great quarterback, you know. And they said he was overly projected. The team that drafted you said he was kind of projected. He was overpriced. Are you freaking kidding me?
Well, no, I don't know. I don't think they said he was overpriced.
He did. Let me go to the video. He said, even though he was kind of overpriced, I got the video. Let me see that video on ESPN. Because I was like, wait, ain't no way. Ain't no way he said that. Ain't no way. Let me get to the video. Because I saw it, NFL.
Let's play the clip.
Play the clip.
We got to get it to where, you know, the clip, you press the button and
let me see we're gonna get it right. Let's go to, because I hate it when you hate it when you got something Cleveland Browns. Let's see. They should be up right now.
Didn't you send it in the group chat?
I did. Oh, wait, no, I just showed. Let me hear it go.
We talk oftentimes about quarterback being the most important position in the sport. We obviously spent a lot of time with Shedeur throughout the process. He's highly accurate, can play well from the pocket, very productive college career. And, we felt like it wasn't necessarily the plan going into the weekend to select two quarterbacks. But as we talk about, we do believe in best player available. We do believe in positional value. And, we didn't necessarily expect him to be available in the fifth round. And so we love adding competition to every position room and adding him to compete with, the guys that are already in there. We felt like, that was the appropriate thing to do.
And that's one clip. I'm trying to go to the one that I saw on ESPN.
You're about the GM.
Hold on.
Is somebody?
I want to thank the Cleveland Browns and the
But it was a clip that was on ESPN, and I saw it. And they said even though he was a bit overpriced, meaning that his stock was a little bit higher than what it was supposed to be. That was what he was trying to allude. And here's the thing. They knew they wasn't going to get two quarterbacks, but they knew they wanted to set an example because they knew they wanted Shedeur. They didn't have dinner with him and Travis Scott. They have been talking to Travis Hunter. My bad. We on wrestling. But they have been talking to him and Travis Hunter for a while now. And that was one of the spots that Dion wanted him to go. Because they said that the quarterback, the offense, the OC is his guy, they boys, and he gonna take
Kevin Stefanski.
He gonna take care of his son.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And they knew they wanted Shedeur, but they wanted to make an example. And I feel like today, if you tell a man, oh, this man is good in the pocket, he's accurate, he makes plays, and he had a great quarter, and you tell me this guy falls to the best available. So you telling me if he's the best available, he was better, quote unquote, on paper than the one you drafted in the third?
No, that's not what they're saying. That's not what they're saying, babe.
That's what he's saying.
No, so here's what he's saying. He's saying, here's how I look at it. A, you're never going to bash the guy you draft, so you ain't going to point out the flaws, right? You're just not. So you're going to highlight all the strengths. But to them, they felt that positionally, Dylan Gabriel was better.
Bush.
Timeout. So when it got to the fifth round and you're looking at your board and you like, well, we had, if for example, just say for the sake of argument, they had Cam Ward first, Jackson Dart second, Dylan Gabriel third, Shedeur fourth. And then you plan out your draft board. And then when you start looking at what's available in the fifth round and you like, well, damn, he's rated higher than the other guys we have rated. So we're going to take the best player, no matter the position that's available right now in the 5th round.
If that was the case, they could have took him in the 7th and took somebody else.
But and the 5th round at that time, he was better
because
than
they
what
knew
they
somebody
had
was going. Look, bro, they knew somebody was gonna get him, and they was like, "Look, mother sucker, the next few picks, they gonna probably steal them, and we can still get them right now. So we got to take advantage." You didn't hear no dinners about him and the Cleveland Brown going to dinner with what's the guy they picked, Gabriel. And
he was one of their top 30 visits.
It wasn't. Here's my thing. If Shedeur didn't have the antics, you telling me that Gabriel would have still went higher than him, bro? If he didn't come with the antics, bro, you telling me that Shedeur would have still got drafted in the 5th round? If he was on, quote unquote, let's just say, because they love Cam Ward, if he was on the Cam Ward, he didn't have the flash, none of that. He was, yes, sir, I can't wait to do. You telling me he would have fell to the 5th round?
No, I mean, like I said, I don't necessarily think so. But my thing is when I'm looking at it, it was only 4 teams who really needed a quarterback.
I know, fam. And based off those 4 teams, Cleveland, if I promise you, they would have picked him earlier. Maybe even the Saints would have picked him earlier. What's the O? What's that?
Oh,
what's that?
This gets interesting.
What happened?
I mean, based on this,
what happened?
You may have something there with your theory.
I know what I'm talking about, fam.
Based on what I'm
tell
looking
the
at.
people so they know I ain't tripping. What's the theory? What's going on?
So I went and checked, and I wanted to see Cleveland's top 30 visits. So these are all the people you're gonna bring in. And
yeah.
Some of the people that, and again, it don't mean that this is who you want to draft.
100%, but these are people you're interested in.
These are people you have high interest in. And when I look at this list, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 quarterbacks on this list.
Yes.
And not their quarterback was Dylan Gabriel. All the quarterbacks that were on the list did get drafted before him. They met with Cam Ward, Tyler Show, Jackson Dark, and Jalen Monroe. So 4 of those dudes did get drafted. So that's, like, as you would say, we can live with that.
Yep.
But Dylan Gabriel was not a top 30 visit.
They knew that they was going to lose out on getting the dude that they wanted to get. They knew the other ones got. So they wanted to get the one of the 5 that's on a list. And that was Shedeur. And they knew that if they didn't pick him then, somebody probably in that round was going to swoop him up and they was going to miss out on the potential of having him. So this is my thing. Look, men lie, women lie, but God don't. At the end of the day, it's going to come out. And I respect his humbleness from Shedeur because he knows in his heart it's some foul play. And it's cool because I really believe that the Cleveland Browns did what the shield at the top told them to do. We need to make an example out of him.
So let me ask you this. Do you feel that the Browns just had to go with status quo?
I believe that they went with the quo so they can make an example, but they was going to be able to get their man at the end. I truly believe this is, it don't got to be all the way true, but I think that the top of the top knew, like, hey, we got to make an example out of his father, and we got to make and we're going to use him to make the example. We know this kid should go at least 2nd round. We know that for a fact. But we ain't going to deal with the antics. Nobody's above the NFL, and if we let him come in here and feel like he can dictate, it's going to change the trajectory of the NFL, and it's going to change how we look at things. We can't let that happen. We will let you draft him, but you can't get him. We're going to make sure nobody else, and all the owners can be on the set. We got you. Cool. Good. Because you ain't going to tell me, even if you don't need no quarterback, if you go best available, this dude is the best available. I can use him as a backup. You get what I'm saying? Like, he can be a backup from all these other quarterbacks who don't need a quarterback. But if you get to the 4th, the 5th round, I can use the best available. But the Browns was the same team that got him because I think they was like, all right, cool. you can get them.
Oh wait, hold up. This is getting. I mean, as you do more research,
I'm telling you, bro. You're not gonna sit up here and convince me to think that a dude without the antics, with the numbers he put up, with the accuracy that he has, is not gonna go first or second or even third round. To fall to the fifth is personal, and it's okay because it's always us. Arch Manning, aka Archie. He went on and did a press conference and said, "My son is not going to San Diego. He's not. We will request a trade." This is a brother who did it before the draft. San Diego said, "All right, we still draft your son." And what happened next play after that? They traded him to the New York Giants. And if Prime was to do anything like that, Prime just said, "Hey, we're gonna do what Archie did." Because Prime thinking
he was talking about the Browns.
He was talking about, you know what I'm saying?
He didn't do it.
We're gonna do the Archie thing. You get what I'm saying? And to say that is not acceptable, but then you let it be acceptable, and then you let that brother get drafted at the number 1 overall pick. You can miss me with that, bro. It is what it is. And then look, God is always gonna be the glory. And I'm happy that Shedeur is taking a high road because now he's gonna show these folks. I bet. You don't think I'm this? You think my antics is more? Wait till I get to be the face. Oh, these antics gonna go crazy. Because I'm gonna show you who I am. And I'm telling you, it's gonna backfire in the Browns' face. If I was Shedeur, like, I know at the end of the day, you gotta be humble. God gonna always guide your steps. If God wanted you to be in the 5th round, do it. And I think for us, we're saying it's a humbling experience for Shedeur. This to humble you. But I say it's to challenge his faith. It's to challenge his faith as a God-fearing man.
Sheesh. I'm just doing a little research as you were talking. You know the Saints didn't have a top 30 visit with Tyler Show?
Bro, you're not gonna convince me. Bro, this was the Shield versus Sanders. That's what it was.
Oh, okay.
This what it was. Because it don't make sense, bro. On paper, you can't talk about this dude being a number 1 draft pick or highly favored 1st round draft pick in the NFL.
Yeah.
To drop all the way to the 5th. That's why it was so mind-boggling. And people, you know how something is so cold and people can't figure out how to put it together to make it don't sound cold. I heard stories, people saying Shedeur needs to call these coaches and apologize and tell them he's sorry and he would do whatever it takes to get on your team. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me?
And as I'm saying, and that's why I like Bake when I look at it, because so ESPN has some of the top guys that's in the know, right?
Right.
And so this is where it gets interesting because a guy like Mel Kiper, who is, arguably aka the draft guru,
for sure.
You feel me? For him to feel some kind of way and for him to not really have an answer, or maybe he do have an answer, he just can't say it because it's a part of, the Shield, for him to be so baffled at what is transpiring. Because you got to think about it. Mel Kiper still has Shedeur Sanders as his number 1 quarterback on the board.
Yeah.
He was willing to take Shedeur over Cam.
Yeah.
And he was very adamant about it too. Never moved. He felt Shedeur could have been a top quarterback in last year's draft if he decided to come out.
Yeah.
So it's certain people like him. It's certain people like Joe Klatt who does football on Fox, and how he couldn't understand it either. It's certain names that's in the NFL world who were just as perplexed as everybody else. That's why it become interesting to say collusion, because these dudes are in the know and kind of
have the idea. They know when people gonna get picked damn near, and they usually are on the money.
On the money.
And here's the thing, and I think he kind of gave you what the synopsis was. And people have been saying it. They said that his character, it was a character thing. It was a character thing, It was a character thing, and they didn't want to deal with the antics. And it was the Shield versus the Sanders. You're not gonna come and dictate, but it's only people that look like us that we can't come and dictate. Everybody, you got Aaron Rodgers out here making a mockery out of these people, talking about I may retire, I may come back, and he's doing all this stuff. The Steelers still got hope for this dude, and they may not even get him, and they lost out on the opportunity to get the future of their franchise. And you're gonna go out on a potential dude that may not even sign with you. He's over here leading you on, talking about I may retire. Very toxic on the TV show, doing interviews. Man, you know, hey, what's my man name?
Pat McAfee.
Pat. I may. It ain't a rap. I may leave. I'm tired. I need to go. Come on, bruh. Let that be. Oh, I'm gonna give you a fine example, and then we can move to the next topic. Antonio Brown. What they do to that brother? The antics with Antonio Brown. He started talking on his cheeks.
He really. I mean, Antonio Brown created that though.
No, he did. He did. But imagine, he's out the league because of it. But Aaron Rodgers can say whatever he wants, do whatever he wants, and I guarantee you somebody gonna call him and say, "Hey, you want to be our quarterback?"
Yeah, but I feel like using it. Antonio Brown was a very, very, very strange case because Antonio Brown was doing stuff. He called the GM from the Raiders a cracker.
Oh yeah, he was wilding.
That's what I'm saying. He was.
My
he
point
was
is
really wilding.
My point is,
but I'm saying,
yeah,
I understand your point of as African Americans, there's only so much they're willing to tolerate with us.
Yep. Kaepernick, he didn't even say nothing wrong. He just took a knee.
He just took a knee. And on the other side, it's like their rope is a lot longer. They can be tolerated a lot. I think we tolerate a lot longer. And but again, we also have to look at situations for us where we were tolerated and given a rope, and then burned that rope because we can't get out of our own way too. Right. So because we tend to do that to ourselves at times, now it makes it easier for them to say, "Oh, we definitely ain't tolerating this."
100%.
And we shouldn't give them that. That becomes a piece of our problem too. We give them the opportunity to do that.
That some of it's us, but
and not all of it.
Think about this though. For 2 years,
he's been the guy. 2 years
though. For 2 years, they ain't been talking about no antics. They've been talking about how Deion Sanders has revolutionized college football, has got all this stuff. Yeah. And all of a sudden,
the antics. So the only thing that I can say to that, Bate, is I think Darren Orlovsky mentioned it. He said NFL guys during the season evaluate NFL guys. When the season ends is when they start evaluating college guys. And so that's when they really start diving into tape, character, and conversation. So I have some that I just seen right now. And again, this is according to Todd McShay. And if you know, watch ESPN, Todd McShay, guru in the know. It says, according to Todd McShay, Shedeur Sanders had a very poor visit with the Giants. Sanders was provided an install package to study prior to the meeting, and he did not prepare for the meeting at all. Brian Daboll called him out on it, and apparently Sanders did not take too kindly to that. Daboll was not a fan of Sanders after that. Sanders apparently had bad interviews and visited with multiple teams in the league.
Yeah.
So again, these could be, I mean, obviously, the report's going to come out. But if he was showing up having bad interviews, he was showing up like he's above rapport and doing all that, then this is kind of what you're going to get, because you can't go in there acting like you above everybody. You can't go in there acting like being unhumble.
100%. I'm not, look, wrong is wrong, right is right.
Yeah. And again, we don't
know the whole story. And here's my thing. Why wait now when it's draft day to say he wasn't doing all this, but you still got this man projected and people still talking about him as this guy, but all of a sudden he had poor interviews. All of a sudden he didn't do all this. Like, if he didn't do all this should have been out. Why wait till the draft?
But let me tell you why. Because these things have happened over time. These are the same questions, not just about Shedeur. These have been some of the things that have happened to other athletes, other positions, in the same time. Where once you start getting closer to the draft, and people are starting to do smoke screening, because sometimes people start putting bad reports out. Because if we put a bad report out, you ain't gonna want to draft them. Then that allows us to get it.
No,
So
100%. I get it. It could
a
be
lot
some,
of it
be some
be
false.
gamesmanship at times.
But but here's the thing: you know what you want when you want it, right? So if you know you want to take, there have been people who have criminal records, who have bad past, who probably had bad interviews, who still went higher.
Facts.
So that's my thing. I really believe, and we can move forward. At the end of the day, the brother got drafted. I'm happy for him. I hope he go and he does what he does, and God use him as a vessel to do more things in life. But at the end of the day, I really believe it was a Shield versus Sanders. It was them saying, you not about to be bigger than us. Them antics or this character of thinking you have entitlement in this league because who your daddy is and what you've done. It's not about to happen, and we can't let him change it because I think that's why Nick Saban left in college football, because he saw what was about to happen with the NIL deals and the character, and he couldn't control the kids anymore no more, because back in the day, scholarships was the power. Now it's who got the biggest bag is the power, and I think now they said we can't let that attitude, we can't let that kind of come into our league. We still got to keep it clean, especially for these people. He can't be a free brother that can speak his mind. He got to get with the program, and if he don't, we're going to make an example out of him. And it is what it is. It's just a sad thing to say. But like we've seen, the two dudes that went ahead of him wasn't even on the top 30 visits with these teams. So you can't tell me that y'all was going to get them in the first place. At the end of the day, they had to follow the protocol, and the protocol was, Cleveland, y'all get them later, but we got to make an example out of them, because they know damn way in hell you're going to tell me we didn't have no chance of trying to get two quarterbacks. It just kind of fell in our lap. Really? Really? One of the number 2 overall best quarterbacks in this draft, you took a dude that had damn near more injuries than I had, and I ain't played in the league. And I'm just saying, I get hurt all the damn time. But you took a dude, no disrespect to him, who had more injuries than I ever had in my lifetime, over a dude who ain't had no injuries, God forbid, who's played every single snap and who's did what he's supposed to do as a player. And you got the nerve to say he's a better player, but you don't even have him on your top 30? You say this other guy, Gabriel, all these accolades, but you don't even have him in your top 30 or in your top 5 visits in quarterbacks? But he's better than Shedeur? No, it was personal. And we all knew it was personal. And when it's personal and people know it's personal, it's hard for people. Look, when we know what's wrong and right is right, it ain't hard to talk about. But it was so hard to talk about because they know it was wrong. And they couldn't figure it. They try to put narratives to make it make sense. Like, well, he had bad interviews. Oh, he was awful. This is why he did it. But people are like, come on, bro. We didn't see some people that had jail, criminal, and all this stuff. They got drafted first, second round. So it is what it is, man. It just, like I said, I'm going to say this again. It's always antics when we do it, but it's always confidence when somebody else that don't look like us do it. And that's the sad truth. And it's one of the things I get tired of seeing, but it's just a reminder every day. You think that they love you, they don't. You are just another person with a jersey that they're going to use to monopolize you to make money. It's a business at the end of the day.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
What? Jesus Christ, what?
The Clippers have made a roaring comeback. They was down 20, and now they down 1 with 1:45 left.
Whoa.
Man.
Yeah, this may be it for the Nuggets. Wow.
If they don't win this one, it's going to get real ugly.
No. It's going to be ugly if they lose just because of how they lost. That's wow.
They was up 20.
They gave up a 30-11 run. Wow. They lose the game. And it was up 30. They gave up 30 points. This almost. And let's get into the playoffs since we're talking about it. Let's get into the playoffs. NBA recap.
Yeah.
Right now, we got the Nuggets about to fumble the back.
Ooh, turnover.
About to fumble the back. We just got a timeout by Bojanovic, and we got a timeout. No. We got. Oh no.
I'm looking at the game, babe. The game is on the screen. You can.
Oh, it's a timeout though. The Clippers called a timeout. 121. I'm earlier than you, so they called the timeout.
Yeah.
But we got NBA recap. We got the Spurs, or not the Spurs. We got the Thunder sweep Memphis. We got the Lakers down.
Come on, ain't no timeout. They playing. What you talking about?
No, it is. It is a timeout. 127, bro.
Oh,
it's a timeout, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay, man. It's okay, dog.
What?
I'm not gonna lie to you, dog. I said 127. It's all good.
Yeah.
But we got the Clippers having a great series, which I feel like was one of the best series in the.
It's the best series. It is the best series.
I like the Houston Rockets series too. I like that.
We got to see how this game goes. I'm just looking at those first two games with the Clippers and the Nuggets was like right down to the wire, nail biters.
Yeah, this has been the most competitive back and forth. Yeah. As far as like
everybody healthy, because in the Clippers in that Warriors Rockets thing, Jimmy got hurt in game 2.
Right.
So we don't necessarily know exactly how that would have
played out. That's true.
With a healthy Jimmy.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie.
You feel me?
I'm not gonna lie to you. But we got some good playoffs. How do you feel? Because I feel like the other series has been kind of like mid. But the Orlando series is getting interesting.
Got interesting.
They won the game, and I really do feel like they could have won game 2 if they would have been able to hit shots in the last seconds, in the final minutes. And then we got the Lakers. Unfortunately, Luka was sick and he wasn't his best. And I feel like
they still could have won.
They still could have won, but I feel like their big three outplayed our big three. Bron played solid. He played better offensively this time. He had his more, and I think he knew he had to do that for Luka. But I think it was a little bit, and this is what happens when you have superstars and two prolific superstars. Who's gonna close the game? Who's gonna close the game? Like with the Clippers, it's Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah, but I feel like who should close the game should be based on
who got it going. I get
got
you.
it going.
But I think
me that should be how easy it is.
I think two of the things happened was they started to go
take the lead.
They started to go through Luka a little bit, and then it kind of took. I think Bron, and I'm not making no excuses for him. I think Bron got a little tired. I ain't gonna hold you. He still was playing, but I think the gas was. He didn't take a lot of breaks that game because of Luka.
41 minutes.
He played 41 minutes because of Luka wasn't feeling too well. So the times that he would sit out, he couldn't sit out because every time he sat out, the Minnesota were going to run, and because Luka wasn't Luka. Let's just call it. Luka was lethargic. He was turning that ball over left and right. It was like lazy basketball, and so and I, what's something I've noticed, and I'm gonna say this, and which is crazy to me, is that for LeBron to be 40, he's still the fastest player with the basketball on the Lakers. Austin Reeves, he can get to
twitchy.
He's twitchy, but he's not downhill fast. He'll get you if he gets you off change of speed.
That's just because LeBron is still, you got to think about it. LeBron's still a specimen. You can't take away the specimen that LeBron is, how I look at it. You feel me?
Right.
But overall, like when I'm looking at the Lakers, here's the narrative that I want to kill, because this is how when I be watching, and this is when we be talking about people don't watch basketball, they just be talking.
Yeah.
And then because I watch basketball, I really be, looking at stuff.
Right.
And so people will say, well, the Lakers didn't get help from the others. The Lakers didn't get enough help from everybody else.
Right.
And when we talk about getting help, for the most part, everybody's always talking about scoring. Ain't nobody ever talking about playing lockdown defense and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then the others, the way we gauge them is by percentages, right? Correct? Like what you hitting. So, for example, Dorian Finney-Smith had 6 shots. He went 3 for 6 and 2 for 4 from 3. That means to me he maximized his shot opportunities.
Yeah.
Vanderbilt only had a chance to shoot 1 shot.
Mm-hmm.
Gabe Vincent, who played a lot of minutes, had a chance to shoot 3 shots. He went 2 for 3. And Jordan Goodwin, who played 12 minutes, took 3 shots and he hit 1. And so when you're looking at it, you can't say the Lakers others didn't help out when, to me, based on how many shots they got and how many shots they made, they did their part.
Right.
You feel me? And so when you look
here's my thing. I'm gonna say this. It's not about them hitting shots. It's the timely shots. And I feel
but when I'm telling you, from watching the game, those guys didn't get opportunities.
They didn't.
To hit timely shots. Like, it wasn't like, oh, Gabe Vincent had a wide open 3, LeBron kicked it to him, and it's like he missed it. It was like
LeBron was the offensive guy that had it going the best on the team. Let's just call a spade a spade. But I really feel like Austin Reeves let us down yesterday, because here's an opportunity. You're the number 3 guy, aka 2 guy. You got our number 1A, 1B who's hurt or not feeling well. This is your opportunity. You have to pick up the slack. It's almost what you're going to talk about in just a bit. It's almost like the Trent Jr., right? You have Damian Lillard, who's the second option, and he picks up the slack for Damian Lillard and goes bonkers. But what I've noticed about AR, and I love him. I love AR. Oh, dang it. Oh, we're going to overtime. This game is crazy. 99-99.
Another good one.
Yeah. But here's my thing. What I've learned by AR, and this is it's no slack against my white folks. I love my white folks. But I've noticed one Achilles heel for white folks is physicality. I don't know what it is about their nature, but when it comes to physicality, it's like it's
not all of them though, because there's some out there that's like that.
Yeah,
but all that smoke.
But AR, the physicality is getting to him, and I really feel like yesterday was the example to solidify yourself, and he's still that guy, but to solidify, like, we gonna be all right because I'm here, even if Luka not or LeBron not, I'm here.
But he did give you his average. He gave you 20.
But see, that's my thing though, Reeves. When you have it works when our one guy is getting their average. Luka didn't get his average. So think about it. Think about this. LeBron only averaged 28, right?
This year he averaged 24. Luka was averaging 28.
So the 24. LeBron went above his average because Luka was not feeling well. So he understood the assignment. I have to do more because I doubled my average. I only scored 24. I give you 38. I give you double my average, right? And I do feel like he took his foot off the pedal. He could have had 45, 50 if he really wanted to, but he took his foot off the pedal.
Ball game. Game winning shot, Denver.
For real?
Yeah.
Hold on, chat. We looking at it live right now. That's what happens when we go live.
Game winning chat, Denver. Aaron Gordon.
Did it count?
I don't think it count. Wait. We looking.
Yeah.
See, do they count? Because it went through the net, but it was a dunk, but it went through the net though. So how do they figure that out? This is different. So Jokic misses it.
I see it. I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah. How do they figure it out? Because it went through the net before the time went off. But because it's in his hands, like this is gonna be interesting. I've never seen this, so I can't even be.
Yeah, I don't know. This is a crazy ending. We can talk about it too, because I never seen an ending like this.
I don't know how they would score this because usually you don't.
Oh, it's out his hands. It's out his hands when it goes through.
That's what I'm saying, right?
So, he got it, and then it's out his hands.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, that's good.
From this angle, that's good.
That got to be good.
What's wrong with Russ? Didn't play?
He got an ankle injury. That got to be good. That got to be good.
They said no good. What we doing? Or they still talking? Where my remote at?
They still talking right now. Sorry, chat. This is live. We going over the playoffs right now. Shout out to these people that's rocking with us right now. That's got to be good. Hold on. Y'all can hear some of the talk. We won't get in trouble. But it's got to be.
Here we go.
That's in there.
I think you got to count that.
Now it's good. That's got to be good. That's got to be good.
That's got to be good, man.
That's got to be good. That's got to be good, fam.
If it's not good, it's collusion. If it's not good, man, it's collusion.
Oh, my God, bro.
They want the Clippers to play the Thunder.
Yeah.
It's a better series.
Yeah. It could be 100%.
But my thing is, if you called it good, you
got to overturn it, right?
Yeah, see, but Baker, if you called it good, you got to have undisputable evidence to overturn it.
Versus you can't see no undisputed evidence.
Oh, that's good. It's out of his hands.
Yep. It's good. Game over. Game over, fam. All right, we're going to talk about the Nuggets in 2 seconds because that's a hell of a game. That series by far is one of the best series in the playoffs. I feel like that's bringing – I feel like there's a lot of good series. The Lakers and the Minnesota series has been going back and forth. Last night's game was a great game. But and it goes back to my point, what I'm saying, Reese, he got his average. But there's times where the other guy who didn't meet their average, where you're healthy right now, you got to pick up the slack.
You got to get a little bit above.
You got to get a little bit above.
Yeah, a little bit. And again, I don't disagree. I don't disagree with you. I feel like AR has to play better, and it's more about getting himself more involved. I think the Lakers have to kind of get away from Luka attacking Rudy.
Yes.
I think AR should be the one doing. If we're going to do it, I think AR is faster than Luka.
Yeah.
So
100%,
it really puts
100%.
it puts Rudy in a bind because AR is a little bit, he a little bit saucier with it. Luka's more different with it. So I think that's what I feel like that's one that just needs to switch.
Yeah.
And I feel like the other adjustment is they need to put Rui on McDaniels and let Luka guard Conley.
Yeah.
Because Conley is not if Conley goes into old Conley, then it is what it is.
Yeah.
But Jaden McDaniels right now
is cooking.
He's cooking, and he's cooking because he's driving. He went 1 for 5 last night shooting the 3-ball, but he had 30 points because he was going to the cup.
Yeah.
And what's happening is and then people will like to talk about Luka's defense, but when Anthony Edwards has the ball and the Lakers go to that 2-3 shell, now depending on where Luka is or whoever that is, now you become the closeout man like in the zone. So he's basically pump faking and going around and attacking the rim on the closeout guy. Yeah. So sometimes it's Luka, sometimes it's AR, sometimes it's Rui. It's whoever it is, especially last night.
Yeah.
So I think that's where the Lakers got to make the adjustment.
Yeah.
Move Rui to McDaniels, leave how they playing Edwards the same way.
Yeah.
And I think that'll also help them out.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm even feel like going in the box where we don't let them. We just if you're gonna shoot, let them beat us by shooting. And then,
Well, you tried that. You see that in game 1.
They did the box game 1?
No, I'm just saying they was giving up.
No. I'm saying like here's the thing, where the reason why they was shooting good last time is because 4 people trying to help one dude. Like, no, you got to know if a dude gets behind you or in front of you and you behind him, dog, you got to find the people, the outlets of where he gonna throw the ball to. But the Lakers have been chasing and following people over helping. They've been doing some 2K25 stuff when the AI do some dumb move, like just leave their man completely. Don't overhelp. But anyway, hopefully they get it together, and hopefully Luka's playing is feeling better because they're going to need it. Because if we lose tomorrow, it's wraps. We ain't coming back. I'm telling you right now, we ain't coming back. We going home early, quick, fast, for real. But let's talk about this Denver series. I really feel like this is one of the series that have kind of rescued and saved the playoffs because every game has been a barn burner. Every game has been back and forth.
Except game three. Game three, they beat them by 30.
Yeah, game 3, they blew them out. But most of the time, the games have been competitive. The games have been fun. Kawhi's back to being the Cyclops that he once was before the injuries. James Harden is having a great playoff series. And then, Luka, not Luka, but I can't even. Jokic is Jokic. And he's always going to do what Jokic is going to do. But I feel like what Denver is doing, like every little guy is starting to pick up the slack. I don't really hear from Jamal Murray this is not Jamal Murray's series. I feel like
But he's been playing well though.
He's been playing well, but it ain't the Jamal Murray that
because it ain't the Lakers. Because
exactly.
he just all of a sudden he become.
And then they got defenders like the Clippers. Don't get it twisted. Clippers got some on-ball defenders that can really stifle you and make it tough for you to play. And they're playing really good basketball. And so, how do you see this series going? I know you still got the Clippers finishing it and winning.
Yeah, I took the Clippers just because I feel like the Clippers are the better team, but Denver is showing that championship pedigree, showing that championship grit, showing that we've been in these battles, we've been down this road before.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting. This game 5 is going to be. This game 5 Monday or Tuesday is going to be crucial.
Yeah, I think it's going to be Monday because I think it's every other day now.
They're going back to every other. They're going to every.
Yeah,
other
they're going
day.
every other day. And I think I'm still rocking with the Nuggets. I feel like this is a big. It's going to be.
They play Tuesday.
Okay, it's going to be interesting to how they respond after losing a game like that, because I feel like that was a game where it was like, oh, we almost got it. You put a lot of energy, put a lot of time and invest into trying to get back in the game. You get back in the game, you take the lead, you give the lead up, and then you make a good defensive stop, and then a mental lapse where you let the man, he makes a hell of a play and you lose that game. Those are always the hard ones to take. You know what I mean? They're the hard ones to be like, damn, man, we almost had that one. But I still got to go with the Denver Nuggets. I think Denver still can get it done if they do what they need to do. The other series, Milwaukee showed life. I don't know if I feel like what's crazy? I don't know what it is about Indiana, but Indiana be dog walking Milwaukee. I mean, yesterday they played really good, but it's just crazy to me. Like I didn't know Indiana was really like the Milwaukee stoppers. You know what I mean?
They give them so many. They've been giving them fits over the last couple of years.
And
this
it's
ain't just
crazy. That's what I'm saying.
Just a right now thing. It ain't.
I know.
When
I think of Milwaukee, Indiana, bro, I be like, bro, Milwaukee should be getting it. You got Dave Lillard. They be getting dogged. But we got Trent Jr. that had a out of the world game, 9 for 10 from 3. The boy had 38 or 37. I think it was 37, 38 points. 9 from 10 from three ball. The boy just. I don't know if he's going to be able to do that again, game 4. But I think Indiana, man, gonna beat this series because they're just more reliable. And I think Milwaukee.
Yeah, I mean, I picked the Pacers to win it because I didn't know what Dame health was gonna be like.
Yeah.
And so I'm gonna stick with my pick. I'm excited about the series. I mean, Milwaukee winning is good just for for basketball.
Yeah.
You want to see Milwaukee get swept, and that looked bad on Giannis.
Yeah.
The other 2 series, the Thunder and their 27-point comeback.
Oh yeah, that was a series.
I mean, but Ja did get hurt, so it's interesting how that would have went if Ja would have not been hurt. But a 27-point comeback is crazy because I remember you texted group chat like, "Whoo, Memphis out here running them boys."
Bro,
and
I'm like beating the dog breaks out of them. It was about 29, bro. And and I was like, bro, when I got home, I said, "Ain't no way they lost that game.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't no way they lost. Ain't no way they fumbled that chicken, bro."
Yeah, and then you got the go ahead.
No. What you about to say?
I was saying you just got the other series that's 3-0 now with Cleveland and Miami.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna tell you this. Shout out to the 1 seats that's actually 1 seats.
Yeah, they're playing like them
because they're getting these boys out of here quick, fast, and hurry.
No games being played.
They're showing why these are 2 of the best 2 teams in the NBA right now.
Yes.
You know how sometimes you get a 1 seed, you be like, we ain't worried about it. They're good.
Or you get an 8 seed that's really good and they struggling.
Right. And so I really, really believe that this team, I wouldn't be surprised if it is Cleveland and if it is OKC at the finish line. Because by far, they are the two best teams. They got the most depth. They got every position that you need. They got shooters, they got defenders, and they got facilitators and point guards, and they got leaders. And they showing it. I just got to see Cleveland play a little bit of adversity. And I think OKC. I got to see. They went to the Western Conference Finals last year.
No, second round. Luka sent them home in the second round last year.
Second round. So I got to see what they do against the winner out of the Clippers and the Denver Nuggets. Are they going to get to the Western Conference Finals this year? We got to see. Memphis was a solid team, but they wasn't Memphis that we once knew. You know what I mean? Ja's been in and out of in and out with injuries this season, and he got hurt again. I really wanted to see the Warriors in OKC because I feel like that would have been a great battle test for them to see if they really like that. And I wouldn't have been surprised if they got beat by the Warriors because of just who they are. But I got to see more from them. They're doing what they're supposed to do. Congratulations to them. But overall, I really feel like the playoffs have been solid. I only been focusing on the Lakers series and the Clippers series. I do think Orlando.
What about the Boston? Orlando,
I think it was a good series for them, but I think Boston wins Game 4, and then they end up getting it done in Game 5 to get some rest.
Okay.
And then what else been a good series? The Knicks and the Detroit.
Oh yeah. I like that series.
That's been a really good series.
The Knicks, showed some toughness in that Game 3.
Yeah.
You feel me? They was winning basically the majority of the game. Detroit made a little run, but the Knicks held them off and did their thing. That's a real competitive series, man.
Yes.
That series real competitive. I would like for Detroit to win Game 5 to make it 2-2, going back to the Garden, to make that series, to make they had a Garden rock. So that is a good series, and I'm hoping that the Pistons can get one.
Yeah, I want to see that go. But my prediction, if the Lakers win, I can see it going 7. And I said Denver was going to go 7. I told both of those series can go back and forth. I felt like that was going to go 7. So it's going to be interesting, man. It's going to be real interesting to see. I've been excited. I've been excited to watch. We're going to be wrapping up in just a bit. Not too soon, but we're going to watch this Golden State Warriors and Rockets game. I think Jimmy's going to play. And so he's going to thug it out.
I wonder how effective he's going to be.
Yeah, it's going to be.
Listen, I've had a butt contusion from falling like that.
It don't feel good.
Bro.
It don't feel good.
That hurts. Like, because it's like right there, but like on your back, like right where your back ends, like oh my God. Like when you fall right in that area, oh my goodness. It hurts. It really does. It's very uncomfortable because when you fall like that, you don't realize how much of that muscle or that bone you use on a daily basis. You don't realize how much you use something until it get hurt. And you be like, damn.
What up, Big Rob? That looked terrible. No, it did look terrible. It looked real terrible.
Yeah, so it's shout out to him playing. But if he can't beat Jimmy and trying to guard Jalen Green,
yeah,
that ain't gonna be fun.
And this is where the Warriors got to go to Kuminga. You benched him because he didn't want to sign that deal. So now,
benched him because he wasn't.
No. That's a real thing. He didn't sign that deal, and so they benched him because this is contract. This is contract year. This is the end of contract, and so what they're going to try to do is going to try to match him or whatever. But I'm telling you, man, like when I got to college, and I got a little small taste. I didn't even get to play like long. I really understand it's bigger than football.
It's politics.
It's a lot of politics. It's really bigger than football. It's not football no more. It's a business. When you're growing up, even in Pop Warner, it's becoming more of a business. But
it is.
But when I've seen, if you don't do what they want you to do, they will blackball you, and they will get you out of this league quick, fast, in a hurry. They will humble you so quick. And that's the sad part because it's like, bro, I feel like, man, I just want a little bit. I just want $5 million more. And they said no. And since they said no, took them out of the rotations,
Yeah.
Set him on the bench, and now now you're gonna need him, and that's here nor there. But it's interesting to see. Anyway, on to some wrestling news. Mania Madness.
Oh my God.
We got Seth Rollins heel turn. Braun
Yeah.
Baker is a heel.
Hey,
both
listen, wait,
Paul Heyman.
whoa. Before we get to Seth Rollins, just want to make sure that
Yeah.
3 weeks prior,
Come on,
your boy
talk to him.
called it out.
Talk to him.
I told you what was going to happen. I told y'all 3 weeks. I got it clipped. You go check the tape.
Yeah.
It's out here for the public consumption. I told you 3 weeks prior to all this happening that we was going to get a double Paul Heyman turn with Seth Rollins because it only made sense. And now I feel like we're about to see the unfolding of all these heel turns. It's about to get real spooky in the heel turn industry because now how it's setting up, Bake, and, I'm excited like a little kid again.
I know. I'm gonna let you finish. I know what you're into.
Because you got the Paul Heyman guys. You know, maybe we don't get the corporate thing that I was expecting because The Rock is whatever. But you got the Paul Heyman guys forming. Now you got the two people who despised each other in Roman and Punk looking at each other like, all right, we're going to have to come together on some Iron Man, Captain America type stuff. Like, we're going to have to come together, deal with them, and then we'll deal with each other at another time. And so, like, I'm just loving the vibes. I'm loving the Aleister Black is back. I'm loving that Rusev is back.
Yeah.
You feel me? And then the Viper strikes.
Yes.
And John Cena right now, he on fire.
He's cooking.
He listen, his promos right now.
It's crazy.
The first one, it was like, okay. But now you can see where he's building because he has used the energy that he's got from his first promo to really start getting the line that he said, the reason why I ain't got no kids is because in 25 years I've been raising y'alls. How do you dispute it? How do you dispute that? If you're being honest, 20 he said it. For 25 years, I've been raising y'all kids.
Oh, I didn't leave y'all. And he's real. To be honest, he stayed loyal to the company, bro. And that was one of the things with the Nikki Bella. He was like, he didn't want kids because he was so like invested in his craft. Yeah, 100%.
And it's more of a personal thing, but him and his new wife have already agreed to not having kids because they don't want it to interfere with what they got going on. And you can respect that.
Yeah. 100%. Here's my thing. We did talk about the turn.
Yep.
And I love it right now because it's like the buildup of your new characters. It's the buildup of who's going to be villain, the storylines. It's the start of the storylines. Yeah. And how do we get back to, again, WrestleMania for next year in New Orleans?
Yep.
Right? As a wrestling fan, this is probably the best time, and this is why I think a lot of people are starting to go back to the WWE because of just how on fire and how much money they're making and just the market that they are going to be a part of moving forward. They're getting more and more, from that blurring the lines where you have entertainment and then you have
reality.
the wrestling life where you got superstars in it. They got Cardi B going to be hosting the SummerSlam 2-day event for the first time ever. And so they're just doing a lot of things. My thing is, I love the storylines between now. We got played by the same damn near chick. And now we about to be cool.
Oh, yeah. That's that real life stuff.
That's that real life stuff. Like, yo, she didn't just play you,
Usher,
dog.
same girl.
She played me, dog. You know what I'm saying? And we both was dummies. And we didn't see that she was talking to the homie the whole time, dog.
Ooh.
And then a homie who said he was a homie was the one backdooring both of us, bro.
Ooh.
Crazy work, bruh. Crazy work. But I love it because it's good for this is this
And
thing
wait,
that
and now wait. Not only, see, this is where it get tricky.
yeah,
Not only was the homie, we got played, right?
yeah,
By
yeah.
the chick. She's sitting here letting the other two dudes tag team.
Oh,
Oh my God.
oh, it's rough. It's rough, dog.
So you didn't left us singularly to
She
go
was,
let the two dudes tag team?
yeah,
Oh my
she's a big
God.
runner. She's a runner. She's a
Oh my
track
God.
star. She's gonna go far.
It's
Look,
tough.
my thing is, I love it because what they're doing with the WWE is they're starting to put their top guys, and they're trying to have sort of like how it was back in the Mount Rushmore days when you had The Rock, Triple H, Stone Cold, Kurt Angle, Brock Lesnar. You had like some dogs. And
Yeah,
what they're trying to do, Undertaker, Shawn
Yeah.
Michaels, you trying to build those dogs of a roster where it doesn't matter any. And I think this is going to be the end of long title runs. I truly believe that. I think this is going to be the end of long title runs where you start having people winning titles here, titles there, and not too soon, but in like 2 to 3 months, we got a title change. Another
because
2 to 3, yeah.
Because babe, not to cut you off, that's how it was built. That's how you get John Cena winning 16 titles. That's
Right.
how you get Randy Orton winning. That's how you get Rick. That's how you get all these dudes having these runs. You rarely get a stalwart staple guy like the Undertaker,
Yeah.
who don't need a title to have a story.
Right.
You feel me? And then that's another character or people that like you said that they have to start creating, because maybe Seth Rollins becomes that guy where you don't need him to win the title because he's a story within himself, because he can really carry the company.
Well, he's gonna win a title. Let's
Oh,
not
yeah,
get it
yeah,
twisted.
of course.
He's
become
gonna
a
have
Paul
a
Heyman
title
guy,
because he's gonna be the corporate guy, and he's
Yeah.
gonna have that belt for at least about 5 months.
yeah.
And-
So
and-
you get that. The other thing is with this Becky Lynch turn, now you got a Paul Heyman girl potential. Because we ain't had a Paul Heyman girl.
You did call it. You said they about to
Come on, I
build the
told you.
faction, a
I'm
corporate
trying to tell
faction.
you.
It's been a minute. You called it.
It's building, because you can just see, like, in WWE's heyday, factions made things a part of it because you gave the fans
Right.
a group of people just to dislike.
Just to hate.
And when you got a group of people that you just don't like, and then you got the rest of the roster,
Think about it.
like,
The bloodline.
yeah, they
faction
didn't like them.
that they hated.
They hated the bloodline.
And now what they're doing is they're building deeper factions, right? Because remember, we had a faction overload where it was like multiple. You had the New Day, you had the Judgment Day, you had the Bloodline, you had all these other factions trying to beat the Bloodline. But now it's corporate factions, and corporate factions are a little bit more crazier because it's right. And so I like it. I like it. I love that Cody Rhodes lost because it was good for the story. I just felt like they could have. I wanted to see The Rock be a part of it, and I really think The Rock couldn't be a part of it because he was busy. And I think he's trying to.
Did you watch the back?
Yeah,
Back of the interview?
I saw what he did. He tried to say, I wasn't. But the reality is, he should have just said, I wanted to be there, but due to just scheduling, due to time, I felt like he made it worse than it had to be.
But I feel like he made it worse, mainly because of the whole him admitting that Elimination Chamber didn't have a ticket sale.
Yeah.
And that the Elimination Chamber is never viewed as that pay-per-view because nothing really ever happens at the Elimination Chamber, which in history, nothing ever really happens at the Elimination Chamber.
Right.
It's like just the pay-per-view before WrestleMania.
Right.
And so, like I said, I feel like he did kind of hurt the situation to me more than help it, because if you was going to be involved in the whole Cody Rhodes and the Soul and then John Cena, like, that story is still thing. Even if you don't appear,
right.
Even if you doing promos just on the Jumbotron, even if his music just hits at WrestleMania and Cody Rhodes looking at the down, you feel me? Like, to me, that's how, because The Rock said he would have finessed it differently. The way you could have finessed it is let his music hit.
Bruh.
And his music hit, everybody erupts. Cody Rhodes turns around, Cena hits him with the title. You get the same ending, but it becomes The Rock is in. So like they could have been doing stuff with The Rock music just kept coming on, but he never shows up.
You want to know what I would have loved?
Okay, talk to me.
If you want to do some corporate type stuff.
Okay.
Right? I would have loved the music, rock music comes on. And everybody's looking for The Rock. But it's Randy Orton. And RKO him. But I get it. Randy Orton's about to fight John. I'm saying like before.
Yeah.
That would have been kind of like, why Randy? Why? And then it could even, because The Rock don't necessarily have to be there.
No, but
he can still be the final boss. And then he could have came in and say, everybody has a price.
You just need his presence.
You get what I'm saying?
He didn't even have to come all the way. Like he could have been at WrestleMania and could have just, the music hit, he don't come out, but it distracts Cody. Yes. Cody still gets hit with the belt, all that, and he just walks to the ramp. That's it. He didn't have to say nothing. He had
but I don't think he could have been there. I really do think through the time he couldn't have been there. But
he said he was in Hawaii watching it.
Yeah. Oh, then I don't know then. Because
he said he was in Hawaii watching it because he said he was texting Pat McAfee during the whole thing.
Yeah, that's my thing. Where, he shouldn't have. Yeah, he made that worse because if you could have been there and you didn't show up, dog. When you said the final boss the final boss needs to be in there. You was a vividly important piece of the puzzle. And the fact that you wasn't there, you made a main event that could have been legendary, kind of like, regular main event where
night one main event outshine night two.
It killed it.
But you can't do it. So like the night two undercard to me was better than the night one's undercard. But night one's main event was better than night two's main event.
Yeah, I felt like if you put night one undercard with, night two undercard with night one main event, you have a classic.
You have a classic WrestleMania night.
And I would have just threw the 5-2 in there too with the LA night.
Oh yeah. And speaking of 5-2, did this him and Solo thing? Oh, it's about to be legendary.
I didn't get to see it. What happened with him and Solo?
Oh, so Solo comes out. So they in the ring. And Solo basically taking all the credit. Yeah, y'all wouldn't even know a Jacob 5-2 if it wasn't for me.
I love
it. He wouldn't. He only here because of me. Woo, 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 woo. And then 5-2 grabbed the mic like, I made me. I told you what I was gonna do. I did this. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted.
Oh yeah.
You feel me? He said, I told you I was gonna win with or without you. And so now you feel me?
I love it. It's almost like Bloodline all over again, 2.0.
Just in a different way.
And now they let him get the belt, and then Solo can win that singles belt because he deserves it. Solo deserves a belt because he's been holding it down, and he did his job. And I think what's happening right now, I think Jimmy's going to get a belt, an Intercontinental belt potentially. I think he's going to get a belt. I think Solo's going to get a United States Championship belt. I think 5-2 is going to win the World Heavyweight Championship for sure.
But the thing is I feel like the whole Gunther thing when he choked out Pat McAfee is setting up the Goldberg situation.
Yeah.
Just so you know. And then I'm interested to see how they about to do this Jey Uso thing. Who's going to...
Sami Zayn.
Huh?
Sami Zayn.
You think it's going to be
for sure.
It's going to be a turn.
Yeah, Sami Zayn's about to turn. He looked at him, and everybody was like, "Oh!"
Yeah, I saw. Yeah, I was
and
looking
then his brother came out. His brother came out, and he played it off. Sami Zayn's about to turn, and he's about to. And I'm gonna tell you what it's about to be. That should be me. And if it wasn't for boom, 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 I'll be that.
So
because remember, Sami Zayn was about to almost beat Roman until they cost him. You know.
So do Sami Zayn end up turning heel? I mean, not end up turning heel, But does Sami Zayn become a part of that Heyman guy thing?
I don't know if he go to Heyman guy yet because I don't know how big they want it to be. But
Okay.
I do know that he's going to be the first one that challenged Jay, and it's going
Because
to be a build up.
it makes sense because what's the name of the next pay-per-view?
Backlash. So
So
next week, Jay Uso is going to get attacked by Sammy
it only makes sense.
because they alluded to it. Because if you saw it, he got off the thing,
And
went
was staring
behind
at
him, and then was staring at him with that envy face, like, "Ooh,
Yeah.
I take my shot right now."
He was.
And he's going to turn heel. He has to, and him and
Yeah.
KO will be boys again because he
So
has to.
KO gonna be gone for a while.
No, I know.
But I don't think so. Just based on usually when you go away, you always come back as a babyface.
Yeah, he gonna come back as a
baby.
babyface for sure. But you got to just switch it. Like what happened with Becky Lynch, gone for a while, came as a babyface. The very next day, heel turn.
Quickly.
quick, fast, and hurry.
But I also remember I told you that what's the name was not worthy of holding two belts for too long. It didn't make sense for her to hold two belts for too long.
I would at least gave her 2 weeks or something, bro.
Nah, a day. You had your moment.
A day.
They also are looking at Naomi and Nia Jax forming the female bloodline. Because Naomi is married to Big Jim.
Yeah.
And Nia is the cousin. So they also talking, like it's been like reports of speculation of possibly a Naomi and Nia Jax team as a female kind of like bloodline type vibes.
Yeah. I see it.
So, like I said, bro, it's so much going on. It's so many new faces. The WWE bought the AAA thing.
We got Luchador about to go crazy.
And guess who's the champion in that?
Who?
Alberto Del Rio.
And nobody said
he's the AAA champion in that for that federation or whatever that thing is for that company. And remember, he got fired by the WWE, so it's going to be interesting to see how he may factor in at some point. But but listen, hey, Talk That Talk Nation, me and Bake, we our goal is to try to make one of these pay-per-views.
Money in the Bank.
Money in the Bank. We trying to be out there in LA. And then I just saw that Survivor Series War Games is in San Diego in November.
I know, I saw that. So which one we gonna go? We gonna go to San Diego or we gonna go to Money in the Bank?
I want to do Money in the Bank.
It's in June too, huh?
It's in June.
June what?
What day is that?
I
want to say it's the second Sunday of June.
I'm trying to see. I think it's the second. If it's the second, I gotta see because I think.
June 7th.
Ooh, that's graduation week.
Yeah, but that's a Saturday.
People don't graduate on Saturday?
For high schools?
Yeah. No?
Nah.
Okay,
nah.
I think we should be good.
Nah. For the most part, they try to get them done on like that Thursday, Friday, or Wednesday. Yeah, they usually get it done like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Only way they make it to a Saturday is if it's extremely hot and they got to push it back.
Yeah, that's crazy. Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. So we'll see what the tickets looking like. Hopefully they ain't selling. Hopefully they ain't selling good so we can get some good prices. You feel me? Anyway, man, on to the very next topic and the last topic, man. We got some controversy going on. Sharp step down. And it's sad to see. And I think I spelled Sharp wrong, man. I'm sorry about that, Shannon. The ump stepped down because let's just report the facts, or not the facts, but the allegations. The allegations is, reportedly he raped a 19-year-old OnlyFans female, and she don't want to send him to jail.
Mm-hmm.
She just want $50 million.
Mm-hmm.
And here's my thing.
It get tricky.
And because I'm gonna just say it like this. If Unc raped somebody, the first thing that comes to my mind is criminal, right?
Criminal, not civil, baby.
Criminal.
Yes,
I don't
sir.
want no money. I want you to go to jail.
Yes.
If you rape somebody, I don't want your bread. I want you to go to jail.
Yes.
Point blank period. You telling me I don't want him to go to jail? I just want him to pay me $50 million for emotional damage?
Because Bake, if he's put away, he can't hurt nobody else. I don't have to deal with that trauma because 50 million, to me, you can't be more hurt if money is the way that's going to suppress your trauma.
100%.
And I'm not saying your trauma going to leave even if he's in jail, because even if he goes to jail, a rape charge is not a life sentence.
Right.
So he's going to be able to get out. But the thing is you have ruined his life.
Yeah, you talking about endorsements. You talking about all this stuff. Everything gone, because ain't nobody gonna want to endorse no rapist. Ain't nobody gonna. Well, not off the rip, but the world is the world. And if you start making money, they'd be like, he's a changed man. He made different.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, for the most part, in the beginning, you see what ESPN do. He was about to sign $100 million. He was about to be another Stephen A.
Well, he wasn't signing $100 million with ESPN. He was getting $100 million through Volume Sports, which his company is contracted through with Shay and all that.
I don't give a damn. $100 million. He was about to be another $100 million man. Not with ESPN. $100 million man is still $100 million man. And the fact that bag got fumbled, they said, wait a minute. We can't have you sign this yet until we know you innocent.
Yeah.
And it's sad to see. Here's my thing with Unc. And this is my thing with brothers. And it's an ugly truth. We have this real nasty fetish with dealing with young women.
It's a lot of older men. I ain't gonna say brothers, but
no, I'm just saying, I'm just saying brothers. I'm saying like in brothers in general, like dudes.
Yeah, dudes. Okay, brothers. Okay.
We have a real nasty fetish dating women that ain't even 18, 19, or she's 19 years old. The girl just got out of high school, Unc. And you over here running her back in, and she damn near can be your daughter's daughter.
Facts.
And that's the problem that I have.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the real root of the issue, is that the girl's only 19.
Yeah, and at the time, he was like 52, 53. Because they tried to bring up when he questioned Donnell Rollins being his age and having a 23-year-old girl. And 10, he was like, man, she 23. Like, why would you do that? My thing is I'm not going to knock you if you want to go touch up something young.
Right.
Okay. But to go touch up something young and make it a wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, and move on versus consistently dealing with is where the issue becomes. Because their relationship, when you look at the text messages that he, put out, their relationship was on some real freaky.
Yeah. It was some freaky.
On some
freaky. Dominatrix type stuff.
Exactly. And so when they put out the recordings about her saying, or him saying, I'm going to choke you, and her saying not, and then he was like, I choke you in public, or I choke the shit out of you, or something like that.
Like, don't be playing.
And it's weird because it's just one of those things where it's just like, I don't know, man. You just can't be saying those kind of things.
It's nasty work, number one. Like, here's my thing.
Nasty work.
And I know he said it on the phone and he didn't know he was being recorded.
Yeah.
And this is why I know you were set up.
Facts. And this has been something that's been in the works.
This is let's build a case. But here's the thing, though. At the end of the day, you allow certain things to happen. And I think Unc was feeling himself,
He been feeling himself.
He's feeling himself. He's the guy. Everybody talking about him. All these accolades. All these look. Pride before the fall.
Yeah, I got that tatted.
And here's the thing with Unc. I get it. If you like him young, you like him young. But especially after the whole with the Drizzy thing and the pedophile and all this stuff of dating young women or underage and it's so prevalent in the media right now. That's the last thing you want to attach your name to. And I think that's why he wanted to pay her $10 million at first, because he was like, I don't really care. I know it ain't real. I just don't want to get out. Because his image. And you know what I'm saying? But when you think of Shannon been getting freaky.
Recording.
Shannon been getting freaky on his internet, dog. Unc been talking reckless on his internet, dog. Ocho, I'm gonna pop one in, dog. I'm gonna pop one in. And the thing is, I'm not mad at him because that's what people want to see. But they wasn't thinking you was popping one in for no 19-year-old girl, They wasn't thinking you was out here bang, chili. You know what I'm saying? Some fresh out of high school type stuff. You know what I'm saying? They think it is 25, 30, maybe, but 19, she can't even drink. And you don't even, and here's my thing. This is where it gets real tricky. Was she under the influence?
No, I mean, I don't think she was. I'm going to just say, like, the nature of their relationship. I just don't think that you should be doing that with a 23-year-old.
But here's the thing, though. What I'm saying there, Reese, look, knowing she's underage, I guarantee she been drunk around Unc.
Yeah, but she was, listen, babe, he was giving her a Portier, at the crib.
Oh yeah, for sure. After he ran, he was giving her drinks. Yeah. So now you doing, and this is my thing. Unc fell in love with the young, and he stopped using this.
Yeah, he fell in love with he using the wrong head.
Yeah,
using the wrong head.
It got to him.
Dr. Umar Johnson is mad at him right now.
Yeah, because
not only is she the young, she the Snow.
Yeah, Snow Bunny. She got some yeeks on her. I ain't gonna hold you. I wouldn't talk to her. Look, people be looking at me stupid when I be like, look, I ain't talking to no girl that's younger than that's young. I can't do no 21, and I'm older. I can't. I just don't feel comfortable with it.
It's not again, and like I said, I'm more, me being married, but I'm more of you cannot get into no real relationship,
right?
Or talking,
right?
If you gonna run that once, maybe twice, and that's a boom bam thing.
Yeah.
But when you start adding layers of conversation and all that, now you get into murky territory.
Right.
Get into murky territory. So I mean, Unc got to be better. He's still doing Nightcap.
Yeah, he's done with. I think this is probably gonna be the end of ESPN until
he said preseason.
But you know what that is? It's gonna take some time for that case to kind of bureau over, and they'll bring him back on TV. They're not gonna let that bag go. They probably letting them know, like, bro, don't let that happen again. And I hope Unc just make better decisions, bro.
Yeah, because since he's been with ESPN, this is the second public incident. He had the whole on IG giving out that work.
Yeah. Unc been wilding. Unc been walking. Look. Unc been feeling himself so crazy where I didn't know how to record. Yeah, Unc he wanted to show people because people started saying he was gay.
Yeah,
and he like, oh, let me. Oh, I forgot.
Yeah,
I didn't know how to record.
Yeah, Michelle.
Yeah.
Michelle.
Wildin'.
Yeah.
Don't be messing with your money, man. Don't mess with your money, dog. And
also, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was about to say, and if you a man of God, keep God at the foundation.
Yes, sir.
Because look, the devil is here to kill, steal, and destroy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
The minute you allow an open door, he gonna
come in there.
Me? That's why I got the shirt on. It's never luck. It's always God, baby.
He gonna come in there because God gonna let him come in there, just like Job. Devil can't do what God don't allow, so God gonna allow that situation to happen to get humbled. And hopefully this is a situation where you like, look, man, when God give you second chance, you can't mess that up. You can't keep messing it up.
And the last thing before we get up out of here, man, prayers and love and peace the Arenas family with Elijah Arenas
Yes.
having that scary car accident,
Yeah.
which ultimately led him into an induced coma. I think the report said he's out. He's out of the coma. I don't think he's home yet.
Yes.
Just prayers for that young man. He got so much potential. Basketball coming up, and it's just one of those things where we especially us. I can speak for us and a lot of people. We want to see all these young men win.
Yeah.
We are. It's a beautiful thing to know that we're watching the second generation.
Right.
To know that we watched a lot of these dudes' fathers play in the league and was those guys in the league, and to see all these sons coming through from Carmelo to Bron to Gilbert, Jason Richardson, Chris Paul's sons on the come up, Rondo's son, like Ron Harper, Scottie Pippen, like all these NBA players that we watched,
right?
And now their sons are coming up. It's a full circle thing, and just letting me know I'm getting old.
Yeah,
that's also
old.
what this is.
That's just what it is, man. And it just lets you know, man, how fast life can change.
Fast, quickly.
And so
one decision.
I encourage each and every one of us out here, man, to live life and to be careful as well, too, man. Don't be hitting YOLO, because it could be very much a YOLO because you're being reckless. Look, be smart, be responsible. I can't tell you how to live your life. If you're going to go out there and drink, don't drive. If you go out there being intoxicated, don't drive. If you're going to have sex, strap up. Protect yourself, okay? Like, be smart, okay? Don't do some dumb stuff. You can't plan life, but you can try to do the best you can to live it to the most fullest that you possibly can, man. Yeah, what a show, man. At the end of the day,
keep God first. Keep on geek God first. And as long as you're keeping God first, all those things that Bake just alluded to will allow you to make conscious decisions, because we're not perfect people.
Yeah.
And the person that is perfect had died for our sins, so we can live the life that we do. Yeah. And so we do everything we could to walk the way that he wants us to walk. 100%. We're going to fall short, but in falling short, it's about understanding why you fall short and accepting responsibility for why you fall short, so you can become a better person on the other side of the situation.
100%, man. But what a show. Great show. It's like I said, we talked about Shedeur. I want Shedeur. I wish nothing but the best for Shedeur. And I want him to go out there and ball the butt out, man. I really do. I really do. And don't do it to prove nobody wrong. Do it to give God the glory. And I promise you, if you come at it with that approach, the doors are going to be open and the sky's going to be the limit for you, bro. So don't even get caught up in the nonsense, because if you do it from a bad heart posture, it can impact a lot of stuff. Just do it with a God lens and let God do everything else, man. God going to handle it. So it's going to be what it's going to be. But we love y'all. Y'all have an amazing freaking week, man.
Make sure y'all tap into the Let's Talk About the Rebels podcast, man.
Go tap into it, man.
You feel me? Me and the wife is about to be back out here getting it back.
I tell this dude all the time, man. They are a role model for marriage. Young, strong, black marriage, bruh. You don't see a lot. And they even got a community where they hang out and they do marriage things with other marriage people. You know what I'm saying? They are look, you can hang out with single people here and there, but at the end of the day, marriage people can't do what single people do. You know what I'm saying? So what you got to do, you got to get yourself around some marriage folk and do what marriage folk do. You know what I'm saying? You can have fun. You get what I'm saying? And so I swear, when God bless me with my helpmate and my partner in crime, dog, I promise you, I'm going to be part of the group too. I'm letting it be known. I'm going to be part of the group. I'm going to be doing some stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because they keep you accountable. And I love people that's out there that is married, because it shows that you can be committed to one person. You don't need to have multiple parties, multiple people to be happy, man. And you can have that one person that can do everything you need for them, you know, the need for you. You know what I'm saying? And so at the end of the day, enjoy y'all day. Enjoy the rest of y'all week as we get closer to the end of April. Man. It's already about to be May. It's crazy. Yeah, hey, shout out to my Falcons, baby. I just want to say that. I didn't even talk about it because it's a Shedeur thing, but shout out to my Falcons. We coming back on the defense end. I love it. Listen, I love it.
And watching the Falcons, they did a lot of good work, man.
Yes, we did.
Like I said,
This is probably the
both
best draft
D-
we had in years.
Both DNs, I do like. I like the fact. I mean, it's
Two safeties.
I like the fact that y'all said, F them draft picks. We trying to win now.
Yeah.
And trade next year's first round pick to come back into the first round and get James Pierce.
Yeah.
That was big. Xavier Watts was a guy that I wanted for the Raiders.
Yeah.
Because he just seemed like a ball hawking safety out there for Notre Dame.
And we need it.
And I like that. Just to get back to it, my Raiders, I'm very impressed with our draft.
Man, y'all had a lot of picks. God dang it, man. Y'all had a whole bunch of picks.
Listen, we legitimately got every hole that was needed that was heading into this draft.
Bro, how many picks y'all had? Y'all could have had at least had 12, 15.
We had, I'm going to tell you right now, we went Genty, second round.
You had 2 in the second.
No, we only had one in the second. So here's the funny thing. We traded for Geno for a third.
Yeah.
In the second round, we traded back twice and ended up getting 2 third-round picks. So in theory, we got Geno for free.
You did. Y'all, I'm telling you, y'all had a lot of picks. I was like, damn, the Raiders got a lot of picks.
So
that's why I thought y'all was gonna pick a quarterback. I was like,
so we went Genty, we went my man Josh Box, the receiver from TCU. Then in the third, we got 2 tackles. I mean, we got a guard and a tackle, and we got the corner from Iowa State, 6'2" corner that played receiver, got good ball skills.
I know you're talking about, yeah.
Out of Iowa State, so he's good. Then we drafted 2 defensive tackles, one from Ole Miss who played Wildcat quarterback, who played fullback.
Yeah.
And the other one from I think is it South Carolina? I think South Carolina. And then our last 2 picks in the 6th round is a quarterback from Montana State, but he's going to turn into a receiver. And then we drafted a quarterback from the quarterback from South Dakota State.
Mm-hmm.
And we drafted a linebacker. So I think that's what, 8 picks, 9 picks.
Yeah.
We end up getting.
Yeah, a lot of folks up in there.
Hey man,
I ain't mad at you. Yeah, I ain't mad at you.
Oh yeah, and we got another receiver.
Yeah.
So we got 3 receivers in this draft.
Yeah.
2 defensive linemen, tight end, a guard and a tackle, a running back. We got 3 receivers and a running back.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how NFL plays out.
I'm excited. I'm
definitely excited. Preseason's gonna be lit, and you know why? You got Cam Ward, you got Shedeur, you got Travis Hunter.
Oh, and Shiloh Sanders went to the Bucs as an undrafted free agent.
Yes, shout out to my man. Proud of him. He got a chance to make the team. I thought we was gonna pick him up. I ain't gonna lie, because he's a thumper. He coming and he come and hit, and so I think that's a good pick for him. I think they'll keep him if he just do what he need to do. And I'm proud of him, man. I'm definitely proud of him. But y'all have an amazing day. Live life, stress less. You already know. And to remember to talk that talk. Till next time, baby. Peace. I forgot that. Yep, there it is. Right here. I'm sorry, chat. I'm sorry, chat. We see y'all next time, baby.